Hello, everyone. As you can see, we got the ultimate badass combine soldier, the grenadier, one of them at least, just to assist. But go over to combine units plus, and it's this guy right here. This is the grenadier you want. That's the medic you want. There's also the armored one, which could also be added. I also fixed the bug I was experiencing where some of my guys would just despawn after I spawn them. I had an add-on installed that basically removed stuck NPCs, and well, these guys had like I don't know, like props on them. Like this one had the shield, and this one had a gas tank. I guess the that mod thought they were stuck, so it kept despawning them, which is why they were disappearing. But over there, I'm gonna spawn in a rebel juggernaut, like you should. All right, here we go. There he is over there. Turn around. Shit. You weren't supposed to do that. Here's a combine soldier, and that rebel over there has a chain gun. Damn it! You're a badass earlier. Spawn in. Stop getting shot. Stop running away. Shoot him. What are you doing? You guys don't die that quickly usually. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Okay, I did a test earlier and I spawned in one of them rebel juggernauts. Alright, spawned in two this time. There we go. You guys don't usually, you're not supposed to die. You're supposed to be badass and destroy stuff. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to be. You guys are supposed to be badass. Not die after 2 seconds of spawning. Third one. Use resistance. Lambda chopper. Other lambda chopper. I accidentally spawned into the Dessa. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, where are you going? Come back here. Damn it. Yeah, anyways. Oh, I know what I can do. Rebel units plus Rebel Juggernaut. Combine units plus Combine Juggernaut. Juggernaut versus Juggernaut. Let's see who wins. Badass over there wins. Yeah, that's dope. All right, so I got all the guys. Also, there's a zombie over there. You may notice these two right here. See, due to my personal opinion, the best way for being able to use these guys and girl is basically change your character, have two different characters you play as in the next Entropy Zero. Basically, my idea is two campaigns, one where you play as 3650 and the other where you play as a new guy. A guy that looks like this. This is a mod this guy is from is known as a Combine Punisher. My personal headcanon is that sometimes when the Combine gives faculties to their specific units, they sometimes decide to go rogue, and well, they created a new Combine unit type, the Punisher, the Combine Punisher, whose main goal is to track down rogue Combine units. And I have not come up with the little numerical thing for him. I'm currently running on 25. 25. That's what I'm going with right now. Just 25, 25. I'll change it later once I get a better name. This guy, who looks pretty cool looking, he's from an Air Exchange mod. Basically adds the Combine units that could be there. I have a different purpose for him. As you can see, there's a Zombine version of him right here. My personal headcanon is that this guy is a guy tasked with basically guarding a facility that's designed for making the head crab cannons and launchers and shells. You know, from Half-Life 2 when you get to the rebel area near the canals, they're like, they're shelling us! You remember that part from Half-Life 2? Basically, these guys are usually protecting the facility that makes the head crab launcher. However, since 3650, because of the ending I go with, went rogue. He brought Wilson with him to the end and uploaded him to the AI thing, fought a clone version of 3650, and then listened to Clone Cop as he was talking. But the advisor crushed Clone Cop, and well, 3650, realizing he's not on the right side, went against the Combine and fought the advisor with the help of some Vortigaunts. And after the fight, 3650 won, and at least one Vortigaunt survived, and he went up to talk to it, or at least see if it would attack him, and it didn't. As if you do actually do that, the 3650 asks, "You're not gonna zap me?" As the Vortigaunt mentions that they're basically on the same team now, or something like that, and they're actually not hostile to him. And so he does the thing where he messes up the Borealis and stuff, and he will, when G-Man takes him to the different locations, such as where his clone data thing is at, which, by the way, G-Man is not taking 3650 to different points in time. It's the same time, just shortly after 3650 defeated the Advisor. And, well, so he destroyed his template and then got brought back to his old room, which he was then caught by the Combine and was interrogated until Wilson saved him. And, well, also due to personal opinion, and since I was never able to do it, Scar Zero, the guy you can save early on, actually also goes against the Combine and tracks down 3650 to go help him, along with the Hunter you get in Entropy Zero 2, which also went to go side with 3650, not the side of the Combine. 2525, which is the name I'm running for, at least one of these guys, there isn't just one this guy. There's multiple. You can find multiple. As 3650, you'd fight multiple. As 3650, you would fight the Shield, the Sterilizer, the Assassin, Sniper, Medic, and Juggernaut. You probably would. The only time you'd face this guy is in a section, which I think is pretty cool, but a Hunter Chopper. Basically, you get to fly it, which has its little machine gun on the bottom. It can drop little bomb things, and it has rockets, tracker rockets, which you can shoot, which is way cooler than just dropping bombs and shooting things. Because Well, this guy can just destroy a helicopter pretty easily. Except when earlier in this video he was getting annihilated by some rebel juggernauts. The first time I spawned one in, he just wrecked that juggernaut. But after I went to go record him doing it, he suddenly started dying. But anyways, off track. And since the Vortigaunt that survived actually went and told the rebels, hey, there's this there's this Combine dude, he swapped teams and is now on our side. Don't shoot him. I'll tell you when he's here. And, well, 3650 winds up finding himself in a location controlled by rebels. They're practically untrustworthy of him because, well, he was their enemy. But after some things said by the Vortigaunt, they decide to let him stay. As Scar Zero and the Hunter actually show up, they're about to attack, but 3650 gets them not to shoot. And Scar Zero actually does have faculties. The only thing is, since he was captured, the rebels tried to probing into his mind and head and stuff to get information from him. And so he just acts like he's a normal Combine dude. He actually has faculties and chose to side with 3650 due to personal belief. 2525 is leading Combine forces to go track down 3650 and remaining rebels in the Arctic region. Which, by the way, you could add just Arctic colored variants of standard soldiers, or you can. Anyways, yeah, I'm blabbing a lot, but I have a hard time describing things. But anyways, Scar Zero and 3650 get into the Hunter chopper they commandeered, and well, Wilson can actually link up, and he'll be on a little screen to the top right. As your HUD is cool, and it's actually going to be pretty easy. Scar Zero is your co-pilot while you fly the chopper. And you get to choose where the chopper goes. And you get to fight APCs, Hunter choppers, enemy ones, and these dudes, the Grenadiers. And basically how I kind of think of the dual campaign strategy is both campaigns are happening relatively in sync. 2525's campaign is happening just a few hours. Starts a few hours before 3650's, and is the either the first or second campaign you can play. I call it Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 you play as 2525. Well, Act 2 you play as 3650, working with the rebels, Scar Zero and his Hunter. And it still allows for stuff. And this guy right here does use fire. I tested it after I removed the mod that kept spawning him and that guy. You could probably do better with the code, and this just uses a Metro Cop, but you can change it to a Combine Soldier. How I also would envision this campaign to go is that during 3650's campaign, if that's the first campaign you play, while going through it, you'll see areas that you can't actually access. However, you can see Combine often entering those areas, and you can spot 2525 moving through. As maps are quite large, however, there's entire sections of the map you can't access as 3650, but you can access as 2525. And 2525 cannot really access areas 3650 has access to. So you're always just a few things away. I don't know the correct term. But you can often spot each other throughout the campaign. And during the campaign, while in the Hunter chopper, one of these dudes right here, this guy, actually manages to get a lucky shot on the tail rotor of the Hunter chopper, which causes it to crash. 3650 winds up getting critically injured, and Scar Zero, the guy you save, actually saves him and brings him to an antlion cave to get antlion grubs to basically heal him, because that's how the health stuff works. If you've played Alex, you know it's an antlion grub that's inside the little health stations. And also, due to personal belief, I like to think that antlines and stukabats, the flying things that fly face first into you, the stukabats, which are by far my favorite cut enemy of all time, and they're just so cute. I just want to pet one. I want to pet stukabat. That's what I want. And I like to think that the antlions and stukabats have a sort of symbiotic relationship because if I remember Half-Life lore correctly, I believe that antlions are actually blind, but stukabats can see, and they can also make noises. The stukabats can basically act as the eyes of the antlions, while the antlions are, the standard grunts and stuff. And you have to go through the antlion cave without you lose pretty much a lot of your weapons in the crash. Scar Zero hands you the Sig Sauer, or whatever that pistol is called. You know, the one he normally gets. Whenever I play Entropy 02, I have a mod installed that gives Scar Zero an M249. I like to think he actually does have that gun, and it would be way cooler than just giving Scar Zero a handgun. Could you imagine just one Combine soldier walks in, he's just got an M249, and just goes brrrah, brrrah, brrrah. Yeah, I'm remembering some vines I used to watch. Anyways, I also like to think that 3650 and 2525 have slightly different loadouts, such as 3650 would have the crossbow. However, 2525 would have a sniper rifle. Both of them would wind up getting the HMG, which is a cut weapon from Half-Life 2. It was a beta weapon. It was like a heavy machine gun, I think. 2525 would have the OICW, while 3650 gets the pulse rifle, at least the prototype one, the one with the bigger mag and stuff. What else? What other cut weapons are there that I can give this guy? Huh. I'll have to come back to that on this, but 3650 can get the HMG. Well, 2525 gets the emplacement gun. You can just dismount it, which is pretty cool to me. You know, the emplacement guns. If you ever played M mod, you'd know what I'm talking about. You can just get the emplacement gun and take it off. And eventually, Scar Zero and 3650 make it to a larger rebel cell, and obviously they now know those two are allies. And I have an idea. 3650 can regain access to manhacks. How you may ask? Simple. During the opening of the Entropy 02, a specific Metrocop states to 3650, you get the wires crossed on the wrong way on these manhacks and they'll attack anything. And since Clone Cop, one of the antagonists of Entropy 02, has manhacks that attack you but not him, could basically be the explanation. 3650 messes with the wiring of manhacks, and basically it has ones that are allied to him, Scar Zero, and that hunter he has, but hostile to the Combine. Those manhacks are also friendly to rebels. Unless the rebel decides to be a dumbass and just runs face first into the blades of a manhack. But anyways, you could have the manhacks. He gets the crossbow and pulse pistol and the Sig Sauer or whatever it's called. I have to relearn my guns. I know very few, but I also know a lot, if that helps. Anyways, there's basically back to something like these guys. I like to think there's a facility, like I mentioned before. But here's the thing: in that facility, other than these Combine guys right here, there are civilian workers that are being forced to work there to maintain the facility. There's also stalkers. I forgot to mention that. Basically, during this, if you have full ammo on some weapons, and you can pick up the gun without taking the ammo from it, you can actually hand it to civilian workers, and they'll actually help you throughout that section of the game, there'll be a higher amount of primarily these guys, but this guy will show up, and there'll be that guy and that guy, along with the medic, who will show up during the 3650's attack. You won't get to fight 2525 at 3650, but the units you will fight are these guys, the sniper, sterilizer, and the medic. And as a boss fight, you get to fight the Juggernaut, the Combine Juggernaut. At some points in the game, you'll encounter the female Combine Assassins, and they'll be just as annoying as they were in the original Half-Life. But nothing some slams can't fix, which was my main strategy in Half-Life 1, which was pull out the trip mines, run around, place them on the walls, because I'm pretty sure the assassins will always follow you, and they'll run face first into the trip mines. It's easy as that. I mean, there could be the shield guys during that part. I don't want any like sections where you have to defend a location for a really long time, especially against striders. I've played Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and I got to the part where you have to defend against the attacking striders. The striders on their own, they're pretty easy to deal with, but it's those hunters. I fucking hate fighting hunters. They're so annoying. And you have to fight 3 of them along with a strider. I'm trying to shoot the Magnuson device onto the strider, and I'm just getting knocked all over the place, and I can't hit the shot. It's annoying. So nothing where you have to defend against like attacking striders or hunters. More like attacking Combine soldiers, like soldiers who are attacking the location you're at. As you're always just like as 25, you're always a few steps, like several, maybe 20 steps behind 3650 at all times until the end of the game, where you have to play both campaigns to unlock the final chapter. And you could either play it as 3650 or 2525. Basically, you choose it's basically good ending, bad ending. Because there's 2 campaigns, 2 different endings you can get. Well, there'll be more endings, like one where you can, if you do stuff correctly, you can actually have 2525 swap to your team. I think. No, that's stupid. I'm still working on my running stuff, but yeah. I'm just gonna spawn in a Combine sterilizer real quick just to show you. Sterilizer. Spawn. Sterilizer. Go to zombies and enemy aliens. Zombie citizen. Zombie citizen. Zombie medic. Zombie rebel. Just watch. This is the Combine sterilizer. He's got the gas tank on his back. And just boom! Just awesome. Look at... Whoa. I think he's supposed to have a shotgun. I don't know. Do I have a mod installed that changes your voice? Disable thinking. Disconnect. I think I have a mod that changes their voice. I was messing around with NPCs a while back. Oh, that's right. I got a Sears map. Okay, I probably have a voice replacement mod for the Combine, but yeah. Just some ideas. Also, flying the chopper, and then the next entropy 0, the Hunter chopper. Flying that won't be difficult like flying a Battlefield helicopter from the Battlefield games. More like you're it's more like you're driving an APC that can fly. Like the controls are easy. It's not that hard to like fly around. You're not crashing into everything. And like it'd be cool too, because I like to think that around halfway through 3650's campaign, you encounter Eli Vance and Gordon Freeman. They're shocked to see Combine working with rebels. However, Eli actually decides to go talk to 3650. And if you're wondering why it's Eli talking to 3650 and not Alex, that's because I'm going off the ending from Half-Life Alex. You know, where it retcons the end of episode 2, where Eli is now alive, but Alex is just gone. That's the ending I'm going off of, and 3650 will talk to Eli and explain basically everything he knows at this point. And also, by the way, you can pet the hunter as 3650. Just walk up, hold D, and it will play a quick first-person animation of 3650 basically petting the hunter on the top of the head. Matter of fact, the first thing Eli does when he meets the hunter would be to pet it. That would be funny and cute. But that's 2525. I would like to think there's like at least 5 chapters dedicated to a prologue for 2525 story, which actually take place in the desert. Basically, there's this huge desert, which was Africa, I guess. It could be Africa, which is like the biggest wasteland now, even bigger than it already is. But basically, the Combine basically have a fuel line and like large amounts of facilities there, and the rebels have commandeered it. And as 2525, you're actually on a dropship as to get dropped off at different platforms, and you have to clear out the rebels from it. Actually, no, it can be one big chapter, like biggest chapter ever. Basically, think a semi-open world where you can basically open up a little map by pressing tab. It'll bring up this kind of like overhead map of the area. Mark down the location you want to get dropped off to next. Then the dropship will come. Any soldiers that are still alive with you will get on, and you'll move to that location. As the last part of this prologue ends with you clearing out a giant oil rig in the ocean. The largest oil rig as you actually get shot down, kind of like sort of near the beginning of Entropy 02. You and rebels that showed up. You are 2525 fighting the rebels. You have Combine allies that get dropped off around 6 minutes into that area. Or not 6 minutes, a decent amount of time where reinforcements would logically get there. And you clear out the area, and you actually kill a rogue Combine soldier. Combine Unit 1187. He was a rogue Combine unit that was trying to help the rebels. That gives context to what your role is as a Combine Punisher unit. Then on the screens in the oil rig, another advisor pops up giving 2525 his new mission. Track down the rogue Combine units Scar Zero and 3650 along with a rogue hunter, which is the first time Combine that 2525 has ever heard of hunters going rogue. Therefore, it's going to be a new experience for him. As for a later boss fight, 2525 has to fight the hunter, that rogue hunter that's with 3650 and Scar Zero, along with a rebel juggernaut at the same time. He has to fight those two. As the hunter realizes 3650 might not have time to escape unless it holds off the advancing Combine, and the rebel juggernaut goes to help the hunter as well. As you see it from 3650's perspective, it kind of just goes and destroys the door to prevent anyone else from leaving, or at least coming back to help get it. Because that's how that boss fight goes. The introduction to the sterilizer happens earlier in 2525's sort of storyline, But in 3650, 3650 first meets the Combine Sterilizer at the necrotics plant, which is what I'm calling it. Necrotics, the Combine term for zombies. As since him and the rebels attack it with the assistance of commandeered choppers and some rebel APCs, they able to break into the facility. 3650 and Scar Zero are there, but the the rogue hunter isn't, as it's actually with Eli currently. Gordon Freeman is actually with 3650 in this part. However, they get separated, and Gordon Freeman does not speak. Every time you can interact with him, but he'll look at you and then just kind of just nod his head. As a matter of fact, Gordon Freeman's little symbol for when he actually is with you is a crowbar. That's his little icon on his little person figure thing. It's the crowbar symbol. As you work with the rebels to clear the facility, Gordon Freeman gets separated from 3650, and 3650 will just say, "I'll catch up with you later. I gotta finish helping these civilians and clearing out the remaining Combine." As around after 3650 and Scar Zero and the Hunter show up to the rebels and start siding with them, the rebels actually change the appearance of 3650 and Scar Zero's armor to make it look more like the rebels with the Lambda logos and stuff. It's also so the rebels won't accidentally shoot 3650 in the face when he shows up. The rebel has a not the rebel, the hunter has also some rebel stuff on it. It's even got a modified weapon to it, like a little laser scope, where you can actually aim with its the Strider cannon it has. You can aim and shoot more precisely with this little laser attachment it's got on the side of its head now. Kind of like the shoulder cannon from the Predator movies. You know, the Yautja things, kind of like that. As a matter of fact, 3650 Scar Zero. Scar Zero is usually always close by to 36. Freeman and some rebels, some regular soldiers, rebel soldiers, and some rebel medics are actually in the helicopter. The helicopter from the end of Half-Life that you see it in Half-Life 2 Episode 2. You know, the one that Eli, Alex, and Gordon were going to take to get to the Borealis. The game doesn't end when you destroy the Borealis. That's just the halfway point. And that's where 3650 then leaves the Arctic region. Well, he's still in the Arctic region, but he's basically leaving it, as we'll actually jump forward a bit. At least 3 months. It jumps forward 3 months after you destroy the Borealis. With a little story thing being said by 3650. It now picks up with Scar Zero, 3650, and the Hunter, along with Eli and Gordon, basically discussing, Scar Zero, 3650, and Eli are discussing plans. Well, Gordon and the Hunter are kind of just off to the side. As a matter of fact, Gordon's actually kind of petting the Hunter. Because normally the Hunter would try and kill him, so he's probably going to be quite amused that there's one that won't try and kill him this time. And so he's kind of just playing with it in the background. There's also some other rebel leaders there as well. And they're trying to figure out what their next move is. And they decide to go for basically just target any remnant Combine units that there is currently. However, their plan is to rescue Judith Mossman from the Combine, which she has been moved to a different region. The region she gets moved to is it is the desert region. It's in the desert. That's where Judith got transferred to. She's currently being held at a place known as Omega Site. It's kind of like Nova Prospect, but it isn't a prison. It's more like just the largest remaining combine base that's on Earth currently. 3650 fought and killed one of the advisors, and I'm not too sure about this, but in the Wilson ending, which is what I call the canon, the undeniable canon ending, or Wilson ending, where you bring Wilson with you, you upload him, you fight the advisor, you also listen to what Clone Cop had to say, you destroy the Borealis, or at least partially damage it. You speak to the Vortigaunt, and then you get captured, and then Wilson saves you from the Combine who are interrogating you, and there's an advisor in the room in front of you. I have no clue if Wilson killed that advisor, so I'm just gonna go off a whim and make an educated guess that no, he probably didn't. He probably just injured it and it went unconscious or something. Or he probably did kill it. I don't know. I don't exactly understand the ending that much. But Entropy Zero, the next Entropy Zero, with the 3650 campaign, starts right after the Wilson ending. While 2525 story starts around 5 weeks before, like, the first 5 chapters, or the 5 chapters, prologue chapters for 2525 is each chapter is 1 week. But by the end of chapter 5 of the prologue, that's after 3650's story begins, or after he killed the advisor, got captured, and then escaped with the help of Wilson. That is when the prologue for 2525 ends, and he gets his little new mission briefing to hunt down the rogue Combine units, such as Scar Zero and the Hunter. A dropship comes and picks him up, and he goes to a mega site to receive some enhanced training. Because the training mode, there's 2 different trainings, one for 2525 and one for 3650. As 3650 gets to learn what the rebel tactics are, and you just get to. It's primarily because I'd like to see what a training mode for, like a training room, would be for the Combine. You kind of get it with the first Entropy Zero in the firing range, but that's just a firing range. It's target practice. But yeah, that's sort of what I've come up right now. I'm sure someone can take this whole video and make a better version of it, basically with my explanation, because I suck at explaining stuff. But yeah, it's the best I can do. It's the best I can explain, at least. This is Mr. Salty signing off.